Hi everyone. Yeah, so today I want to talk about have we ever thought about what is our rich life? Growing up, I often look at my wealthier relatives and friends, and I always it always made me wonder like why are they living such different life? What exactly are they doing differently? And so I actually spent a huge part of my teenage life studying how can I turn my family financial situation around, and generally, the strategies involved could be simply summarized into you get a decent paying job, underspend your income, and invest the rest. You gotta own assets, you gotta own equities if you ever want to be financially free. But here's the thing. While there's a lot of materials out there that talks about how you should be budgeting, how you should be cutting your expenses, right? In order to achieve this elusive financial freedom, there isn't much material that talks about what is my rich life. And for many, even after attaining considerable wealth, they're still trapped in their earlier years, spending their life on the spreadsheet, spending a lot of time comparing prices and not splurging on the little items that make their life better, that bring them joy. So this thought actually came after listening to a podcast between Safety Ramit and Tim Ferriss. And Ramit was sharing a conversation he had with one of his high net worth client, right? His client was saying, Ramit, I love to get a good deal. Whenever I order groceries online, I hate the idea of overpaying. So I always open up two tabs. I have Whole Foods on one side and I have whatever competitor on the other. And you're not going to believe it. Sometimes they charge $15 for organic groceries, but over at the competitor, I can get it for 7. Now then Ramit proceeded to ask his client, dude, what's your net worth? And the answer was a shocking 8 million. Now, even in Singapore, I personally know a few self-made millionaires. They are financially free, but their habits don't die off. They are still living that miserable. I mean, I'm assuming it is miserable to eat leftover food, and taking public transport when taking a cab would save like 70-80% of your time. And spending a lot of time cutting out coupons, comparing prices to save that bit of money when their life could be actually significantly improved if they spend it on food they enjoy, or they spend it on services, on products they actually enjoy and make their life better, make it more efficient. Like you spend less time on transportation, and then you are able to spend more time on things that matter, like time with your family. Now here's the thing. The truth is there isn't a number in our bank that's going to change the way we feel about money. Now, many of us would know people who are in their 60s, have quite a bit of money set aside for retirement, but they're completely clueless on what to do with it. Even if they have worked hard their entire lives up to this point, they are still playing defense, often looking to protect their capital instead of enjoying the fruit of labor. I often have friends asking me, their parents are actually looking to, invest their retirement money in property, just because that generation love the idea of investing in property because, it's assets that so-called always appreciate and generate cash flow in terms of rental. I actually don't think that's a very smart idea because there's always opportunity cost to capital being locked up in hard assets such as property, and I don't think the yield is excellent. But that's a story for another day. But here's the thing: they are not able to bring themselves to start splurging on that money. They are still living that very frugal life. They have actually forgotten why they actually started accumulating wealth. They're always on defense, thinking they need to save for the rainy day when what they have is more than enough to last them until the day they die. And all your children, your mortgage is already fully paid for. Your children have all grown up. They have all started working, and what's holding them back? So it's important for us, before we start embarking on our financial freedom journey, you have to think about the kind of rich life you want. Think about your why. It could be to spend time with your family, or even taking first class flights for holiday, or be able to order whatever you want, on the restaurant menu. No judgment. But while you're on this journey, when you have achieved a major portion of your goal, you need to start changing your psychology, and start to satisfy some of those why, because life is short, especially if you have achieved financial freedom but your habits and your psyche doesn't change. Then I think that's just a miserable way to live your life. Yeah. And before diving into our strategies to work towards our rich life, there's plenty of advice out there that guilt trip people into cutting out their lattes, avocado toast, hiring a part-time helper, your Netflix subscription, and more. But life isn't so much about competing who can be more frugal, and there's more to optimizing cell F27 of our spreadsheet. I think many personal finance bloggers or books spend too much time on the $3 questions, when we should be thinking about the $30,000 questions. 30,000 questions, $30,000 questions such as how to negotiate for a higher salary. Try and answer whether this is the right job for me. What do I think about asset allocation? How much money should I be investing in equities, etc. And whether I am aligned with my partner's financial values. Being able to raise your income by 10 to 30,000, for example, per year will matter more than any amount of lattes you can buy, or subscription you have to cut off. And it's better to start playing offense today. And that is all I have for you today. If you enjoy this podcast, do check out my website, steadycompounding.com. That's where a lot of resources lie. And till next time.